Hello, Northern Virginia. This is NoVA Weekend Warriors Live. I'm your host, Meg Donnelly, a licensed massage therapist here in Herndon, Virginia, who's focused on, you guessed it, Weekend Warriors. And today I am here with a panel of past guests and some guests that you haven't heard yet from season 2 of our podcast. So let's get rocking and rolling right into it. And I'm going to have each of our 5 panelists that we're going to start with, and we'll have 5 more later. But can you go ahead and just introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself and your episode.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Wright. I am co-owner of Eye of the Heart, and my episode was focused on running solo and running for mental well-being. So I struggle with OCD, and running helps me work through that, so to speak. So
awesome, and I have so many great questions for you. Let's go ahead on to Rachel to introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Rachel Eisenfeld. I am the owner of Eldon Street Tea Shop and Soulful Orthotic Solutions. And in my episode, we focused on orthotics and foot care and footwear and running and walking healthy, and how I can help you do that.
Hi, my name is Greg Russell, and I'm the lead ambassador. I'm called Warrior for the greater DC area. And in my episode, we talked about Ragnar Relay and kind of team and community running and supportive running and all that comes with Ragnar.
Awesome. Hey everyone, I'm Colleen, and I was on her episode where I talked about being an athlete and then losing kind of the focus of being healthy and being an athlete and trying to find my fantastic, getting back into being healthy. And my podcast is called Finding the Fantastic. So.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tracy Endo, and I'm with NoVA Sports Coach. I am a triathlon coach in Loudoun County, and I focus on teaching youth and adults how to swim better. And my focus on the podcast was about the swim portion of the triathlon.
That's great. And we have actually another round of 5 panelists that'll be up shortly. And then we have somebody else who's really, really important. And that is our audience today. So let's give it up for our audience as well. Yes, awesome. So there's a couple other things I want to talk about quickly, and this event is more than just what we have going on the panel. We've had some food tonight, some drink tonight, thanks to Rowan Tree for that. So if you don't know, Rowan Tree is an amazing co-working space right here in Herndon, Virginia, focused on women but open for all. Really love all the work that they do in making our business community stronger. Thank you. We also want to just send a quick shout out to one of our council members, Bill. And Bill actually had to leave early so that he can do a vote on transportation in a little while, but which is so interesting, right? Yeah, for us, the end result is always good. But I want to thank him because he's responsible for setting up our audio for tonight. So thank you to him. Yes, and over in the corner here, we have Joelle, and she is with Ms. Mosaic. So we have an amazing art project. So this is an interactive night. We're not stuffy here at all. So get up and walk over to Ms. Mosaic and make yourself a take-home coaster. So what you're going to do is you're going to do your own version of art and something fitness-related, and Joelle has this amazing, cool technique that is going to turn that into abstract art. So I'm not sure that we'll get this on TV right now, and obviously on the podcast you can't hear it, but hold those up for us to show us what they are. Isn't that gorgeous? So yeah, make sure you check that out as well. Fabulous. All right, so now that we've done that, let's get started. And we're going to have some prizes that we're giving away at the halfway point as well. So if you haven't put your business card into the kitty yet, I don't know, what do you normally call it, fishbowl? Let's go with that. Go ahead and see either Kate or Amy, and they will put that in. And now you did have to be here to win. So those of you who are listening live or watching later, you're going to know for next year that you need to be here to be in it. All right, so let's get started right away, and I'm going to start us actually right in the middle because Ragnar, we just had a Ragnar race that happened recently, and so Greg, maybe can you tell us a little bit about that and anything like new that's coming up?
Sure. Thanks, Meg. Ragnar Richmond Trail was just this past weekend. That was kind of exciting for me because it was the first time I've been on staff for a trail race. So that was kind of exciting when we had a bunch of rain and everybody else gets told to stay dry. As loop manager, I had to go get wet and make sure everybody was safe and out on the trail. But one of the new initiatives that Ragnar has embraced this year, and we really saw it in play at Ragnar Richmond Trail, was they have a partnership with Athletes for a Fit Planet. So really taking recycling and the whole environmental impact of executing a race and really working to minimize the impact that we as athletes have. So that came down to, teaching people what's compost, what's trash, what's recyclable, and that was fun even for me to try and get right. And even like the food vendors and stuff that were down there had to use recyclable products. So one started with styrofoam and they were quickly corrected. So that's one thing. On the race side, we've got a few new things that have come to the DC market. We have Sunset DC, which is an afternoon relay. For those that don't like the overnight kind of relay or aren't quite sure about that commitment, that's in September. It's called Sunset, so you're try and beat the sunset. 2 4.7 mile loops, and then kind of a Ragnar Village-like trail where you get together with friends. For those that want to go longer and try something new, this year we have the Black Loop at Appalachia. So that you do the green, the yellow, and the red loops, and then the next day you run an 18-mile loop that doesn't repeat.
Okay, so you got to be a little bit more
lots of
prepared
neat things.
for that.
So yes, going after those ultra runners. So lots of neat, nifty stuff.
Awesome. And if people want to find out more, where can they go to find that out?
So if they go to runragnar.com, there's all the information on all of our races right there.
Awesome. And in DC, you're our Ragnar warrior, correct?
That is correct.
Awesome. Well, we're so happy to have you, Greg, today. And listen, now for the Sunset Relay or even one of the other relays, do you really, is it for elite athletes or can someone just starting out, would it be okay for them as well?
No, what we like to say is if you can run a 5K or 10K, you can run a Ragnar. It's really an all-encompassing thing. Now, I wouldn't tell those people to go run Black Loop, but but anything else,
we'll leave that to someone else in my group.
There are those that are in it to win it, but most people are there for the social aspect of running, and it's a very supportive community. So no, you don't have to be elite by any means.
Awesome. So I'm going to have you hand the mic over to Rachel. And Rachel, I love to talk to Rachel because Rachel is a certified podorthist. Did I say it properly?
Yes.
Because that always makes me tongue-tied. I don't know about everybody else. I feel like, audience, let's say podorthist one time fast. See, nobody can really say it that well. We did pretty good, though, considering, I think. And one of the other things is that, I love Rachel's advice, and she really is an expert in this area. And then I don't follow it most of the time because I really still love running in minimalist shoes. But, Rachel, okay, so tell me a little bit about, if I don't have any pain or discomfort in my feet, do I really need an orthotic?
Oh, we're starting there, huh?
We're going right into it. We are going right into it.
Okay, well, this is a very common question I get. Sometimes I'll even get it from parents that are concerned about their kids or maybe seeing how they walk, but the kids are not necessarily having any foot issues or pain. With kids, it's a little bit different because they can actually develop issues later on in life after wear and tear, and it might not be something that they would grow out of. With kids, it's a little bit different. You put them in orthotics, before they're 12, and that way they can kind of mold and shape the foot as we'd like, so that hopefully maybe later on in life they don't even have to wear an orthotic because we took care of it earlier. With adults, it's a little bit different. Switches. Yeah.
We'll hold that
Yeah,
for you.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
As
all right.
usual, I'll be Rachel's assistant.
I talk with my hands. I feel more comfortable. I felt very confined. Here, I can take
That's
this
why
out.
she has the cup that says "Boss Lady."
So with adults, it's a little bit different because the bone structure has already kind of developed, and it is what it is. But that doesn't mean, let's say, you really haven't had any problems now. You really haven't changed. So you're running the same amount, and let's just say, one day you just decide to up your mileage, or you decide to continue to walk longer, or you're deciding to try a new CrossFit gym or something like that. All of those things are going to change the way your body has worked over several years, and you might notice things different that have happened differently since making that change, and therefore we might need to make it so that you can walk and run more comfortably. Now, when I think of an orthotic, or the way I introduce an orthotic, it is like a brace. It's like a brace for any other part of your body, a knee brace, back brace. When you put that brace on, the whole goal of that brace when you're injured is for it to do the work for you. Now, if you continue to wear this and have it, you can do it either two ways. You can either do it the hard way, or you can do it the easy way. The hard way is you can work the foot muscles as much as you want. You'll get to a certain point, and your bone structure is going to be the way it is, and that's the best you can get it. With an orthotic, it's going to hold everything in place for you. What I like to do is a combination of both. This is what I tell my patients. And I come from an exercise science background, so I enjoy having the tools that you need to get fit and better, but also, put in the hard work, put in the sweat equity. So when I usually give an orthotic, I also not prescribe. I don't prescribe anything. I'm not a doctor. I also give exercises, whether it be for plantar fasciitis or hip strengthening, or just something that's going to make your running or activity better. A lot of times runners, they'll go out there and run because that's what they like to do, but they don't necessarily go out there and do the strength training part of it. When you run, you're on one leg for a portion of that gait cycle. And when you're on one leg, there is one muscle doing primarily all the work, and it's your glute medius. And a lot of times you'll see a lot of hip swaying when you're running because that muscle is weak. So doing those strengthening exercises to make sure that those glute muscles and core is strong are important.
Gotcha, Rachel. Okay.
yeah,
So we, as you can tell, Rachel is super excited about
Sorry.
what she does.
Well, let me.
And also she runs a tea shop, so she might be running on a little bit of caffeine at the moment as well.
Let me,
but if you can wrap it up
let me
for
wrap
us
it
and
up
let
for
us
you.
know what's
Yeah.
going on. Mm-hmm.
So let me just say
I'm
that
so lucky everyone likes me.
the back to the main question is the orthotic is there to if there is a gait pattern issue, that if you do end up increasing what you're doing exercise wise, we can make it so that you're running more comfortably, running more efficiently. It could be that you're turning in your feet, and because you're turning in your feet, you're not really pushing off the ground, so it can help you run a little bit more efficiently as well. There are different reasons that you would use an orthotic, but yeah.
Awesome. All right. So, Rachel, if people want to learn more about orthotics and they want to learn to do it the Rachel way, not the Meg way, how do they find you?
So you can go online to Soulful Orthotic Solutions, soulfulorthotics.com, and just email me or call me, and we can set up an appointment.
Awesome. So. And we are going to talk a little bit more at the halfway point about this wonderful new tea that Rachel has coming out at the tea shop.
Yes.
So we will talk about that shortly.
Yep.
All right, perfect. Now I think we're going to take it to the audience. So does anyone have a question for one of the dynamic duo at the end here? We have Tracy, who handled our one of our try episodes, and she focuses on swimming. And then we had